My dad's cabin is located in a town called Freedom, New Hampshire. It's off the beaten path, it's pretty quiet. The cabin itself sits right on this very relaxing river. It's nice to sit on the porch, look at the river, and at night have campfires. It's just a very relaxing place to sit back. I'd made the decision to go Special Forces when I was still a cadet at West Point. Once I commissioned from West Point, I commissioned as an infantry officer. So I served 5 years in the infantry and then was finally able to go to the Special Forces assessment and selection, followed by the Q course in 2012. About a month or two after showing up to 7th Group, we deployed to Afghanistan. Following that, we deployed right away again. I got to be a tactical ground force commander for 2 years, essentially, about a 12-man team, and was able to be a ground force commander during combat with that team.
This small 12-man organization, we're going to give them a piece of Afghanistan, a geographic piece of Afghanistan that includes mountains, desert, people, and we say, we want you to go out there, live amongst the people, help them generate stability to protect their people against the enemy, and work hand in glove with all these other people that are out there.
I remember my company commander asking me what I wanted to do after team time, and I said, well, I don't want to end team time. He said, well, you have to, and I said, well, probably get out in the National Guard and continue being a team leader there. And he said, that's stupid. You need to move up and do the next job.
We said, Sean, we want you to command and administer and manage to these people that represent really the broadest range of demographics in the United States.
Following my team time, I went up and commanded the headquarters up at 7th Group.
And so no longer were there 12 men all striving to achieve a single purpose because that's what they all came here to do. We now increased that by tenfold. Sean was stretched and expanded and demanded. In almost every case that I can imagine, Sean exceeded the expectation we had. Every special operator will sooner or later transition out. And in almost every case, they will still have gas in the tank.
When I decided to submit my resignation paperwork from the Army, I started networking right away, and that began my process. I learned about Modus early on working with YGN, and it was brought to my attention specifically because Modus is located in Boston. I got to go meet the CEO, Craig Powell, and we hit it off, and he said, hey, we want you to come work here. So that happened pretty quickly. Within, I'd say, a month or a month and a half of deciding I was getting out of the Army, I already had that opportunity presented to me because of YGN.
Through a relationship with your grateful nation, our special operators have the opportunity to interact with mentors that are willing and motivated to make their networks available and aware of what our guys really bring in terms of competency and value that go way beyond an MBA from an Ivy League institute.
Getting out and getting a job and getting your family situated wherever you're moving to is certainly like taking a mission or a task in the military. You're doing the same thing, you're defining that end state that you need to accomplish. You're gonna get it accomplished, whatever it takes. A, we had to move up to New England. That's what I promised my wife. And B, I had to get a good job that I made more money, but also that factored in the cost of living. And so those are my end states, and then I just did everything I needed to do in between to get there.
The Army has provided me with the ability to learn to lead organizations ranging from 12 people to 8,000 people. Despite the fact that the Army has been very good to me, I began my transition from 7th Special Forces Group. And there was some trepidation. I wasn't exactly certain how to transition from being a senior leader in the military to doing the same in the private sector. But I did what we do in the Special Forces, and I called a friend. He said, you need to call Rob Clapper at Your Grateful Nation and have a discussion with him.
So YGN brings in a wide gamut of ex-military, ex-SOF, and for me, I'm on the short end, being 10 years in, and for guys like Rob Kirila, who spent 25 years in, with a little help from YGN, he figured out how to translate everything that he did in the military and go land a great job like the COO at Doolittle Group.
In my 27 years, I'd moved my family 19 times. And we now live in a wonderful place where we have a great church, great schools, and a community that supports the military in a way that I've never seen anywhere else. No, we chose to live in a tourist destination that, you know, the local population is about 25,000. And so there is not a huge representation of America or international business. And so it was a challenge, and YGN shrugged it off, and they helped me get through that successfully to become the COO of a growing technology company. And it is our expectation that it will be a national technology transfer company here before the end of the year. In that same vein, I'm excited for Sean and his new wife and Sean's father, who has waited for him to come home and be a part of the tradition that is the Corbett family.
My father was very excited that I was going into the military. Once I deployed to combat, the reality of that set into him. He was more scared than I was over there. He thinks that the fact that I haven't been around for the last 14, 15 Father's Days, it was painful for him. So to cope with that, he set up this flagpole, put a plaque on it in honor of Sean Corbett, Green Beret. That's how he pays tribute, I suppose. We make fun of him because it's the way he wrote the plaque made it sound like I was dead, so.
It is important to me to convey to you all that a colonel in Special Forces is not an operator. We are not out there facing the enemy on a day in, day out basis. The operators are. For all those of you looking to support YGN, I would say thank you for your support. And whether it's in resources or networks or positions, my challenge to you is stretch. This is only going to be for the betterment of your company, your community, and the thing that makes America strong is our economy and your contributions to it. So my ask is that you include us. We can help you.